This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our new sponsor, Curaleaf, one of the leading vertically integrated cannabis operators in the United States. I'm really excited to have Curaleaf come on board as our new sponsor for lots of reasons, but especially because of their national scale. We're a podcast with a national focus, so it's nice to have a sponsor with a similar scope. Curaleaf has operations in 10 U.S. states with 34 dispensaries, 12 cultivation sites, and 9 processing facilities that have served over 100,000 registered medical patients. Those are some pretty awesome numbers. And Curaleaf just went public up in Canada and has big plans to expand their company as our industry evolves and grows. One of the things that really sets Curaleaf apart in the legal marijuana industry is their commitment to customer education and to pushing the bounds of what we collectively know about cannabis and its medicinal benefits through their robust research and development programs. And Curaleaf is more than just the dispensaries, as the Curaleaf brand extends to the products their shops sell, as many of the states in which the company operates in requires vertical integration. That's given Curaleaf a lot of space and time to really hone their retail game. Learn more about all the interesting things that Curaleaf is up to over at curaleaf.com, which is spelled Curaleaf, curaleaf.com. Big thanks to everyone at Curaleaf for stepping up to support today's news. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Monday, December 10th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 625 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We start off today and the week with news of a big, giant acquisition announced on Friday, with tobacco giant Altria Group to invest $1.8 billion US in Canadian licensed marijuana provider, the Cronos Group. This deal is the first entrance of its size by a big tobacco company into legal cannabis and will make the Cronos Group Altria's exclusive partner on marijuana deals. Swing over to Marijuana Business Daily for all the numbers and details on this one, which will give Altria Group a 45% ownership stake in the Cronos Group upon closing. With another story that needs a click over, Marijuana Business Daily picked up on big news out of California as the state released at the end of last week the final versions of the new rules and regulations that will go into effect early next year governing legal marijuana business. We've talked about this storyline recently as California's Bureau of Cannabis Control hinted that the language might be released earlier than next month. And on Friday, the hint was made good as the 3 agencies overseeing legal marijuana in California all posted their respective final drafts. Open this one up for the 3 links and then dive in. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Rounding out today's top stories is an acquisition by Canadian marijuana giant Canopy Growth Corporation of German company Storz and Bickel, which you might know better for their flagship product, the Volcano Vaporizer. This huge deal puts 100% ownership of the Vaporizer and technology company into Canopy's hands for just under $165 million US. Storz and Bickel has good distribution networks in the United States as well as in its home country of Germany, so the deal will give Canopy good positioning in both North American and European markets. Leafly has all the rest of the numbers and details on this one if you want to click over for more. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our new sponsor, Curaleaf, one of the leading vertically integrated cannabis operators in the U.S., with a total of 34 dispensaries, 12 cultivation sites, and 9 processing facilities. But Curaleaf is more than just a group of cannabis businesses. It's also one of the top legal marijuana consumer brands around. Since Curaleaf operates in a lot of states that require or allow vertical integration, they've been afforded the opportunity to develop a world-class brand in their Curaleaf retail products, with Curaleaf vape cartridges, capsules, lozenges, vape pens, and concentrates, helping more than 100,000 patients find the relief they seek. Curaleaf has also recognized the need for quality CBD products, which is why they launched their Curaleaf hemp line. And if it's premium craft cannabis you're looking for, their Yuku brand is just the answer. When it comes to the art, science, and business of legal cannabis, there are few that do it better than Curaleaf. Swing over to curaleaf.com today to learn more about this very cool company and to see if there are any Curaleaf shops near you. That's curaleaf.com, which is spelled Curaleaf. cureleaf.com. Thanks again to everyone at Cureleaf for helping make today's news possible. All right, time for the Blitz. Another big deal to announce, with multi-state operator Acreage Holdings scooping up an Oregon-based edibles maker and distributor for $160 million. The all-stock deal for Form Factory expands Acreage Holdings holdings to a total of 19 U.S. states. The state of Maryland was just a little shy of hitting $100 million in sales within the first year of having a legal marijuana program. In its first year, which just ended, Maryland's 50,000 or so registered medical marijuana patients spent $96.3 million within one of the state's medical marijuana dispensaries, of which there are now 71. Marijuana Moments Kyle Yeager has a good roundup of a few state-level marijuana-related pieces of legislation that have already been pre-filed ahead of next month, when many state legislatures spool back up for session. If you're interested in legal marijuana reform efforts in Missouri, Virginia, Texas, or Nevada, I'd direct you over to Kyle's story for the full dive in. I think Kyle's piece opens it perfectly with, quote, "If you thought 2018 was a big year for marijuana, gear up for 2019, unquote. Stats Canada released some interesting numbers late last week that show that the Canadian legal marijuana industry is a pretty good place to work in terms of average wages, which Stats Canada shows is a little over $5,000 a year more than the average Canadian job. Cannabis industry workers in Canada make an average hourly wage of $29.58 compared to the overall national average of $27.03. Another good story with lots of other useful numbers that you might want to click over to. Last week, the World Health Organization delayed releasing recommendations it was set to publish about the international reclassification of cannabis. The UN's Commission on Narcotic Drugs is meeting in Vienna right now, and on Friday, the WHO was expected to release new recommendations for how cannabis is to be rescheduled under international drug law. WHO officials said they need more time to evaluate things and gave no new date for when they would be announcing their recommendations. NBC News just published a big story looking at the boom of CBD, taking the angle that its rise in popularity comes hand in hand with the realization of how little has actually been studied on its effects. There are lots of reasons for that, mostly having to do with government restrictions on research, but as 2019 brings the prospects of newly legal hemp-based CBD products, those restrictions are set to fall away. This is a good article to read because a lot of mainstream folks are going to see it. And finally for today, we end the news on a down note as the Buffalo News brings a heartbreaking story of a 78-year-old man living in upstate New York who was kicked out of his home last week because he's a registered medical marijuana user. John Flickner was literally booted from his apartment and made to wheel more than a mile in his wheelchair in winter conditions to a homeless shelter, all because he lives in federally funded public housing and because an apartment inspector found the vape pen that he uses to treat pain and other ailments. Mr. Flickner is a registered and legal New York medical marijuana patient. Even if he wasn't, this is an outrageous injustice. Please read this story, pass it on, take it to heart, and if you live in New York State, call up some politicians and yell at them about this today. This should not happen. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at MJTodayDaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Cureleaf, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.